Hello and very warm welcome everyone. It's Marta here. Welcome back. My friends, I wanted to share something I've been working over the past few weeks and I hope you will enjoy it as much as I do. I've tried to record this video earlier and the intro I was just too much talking. It was 10 minutes long, so I don't want to hold you for such a long time. Let me just quickly show you the Christmas collection I've designed for this year. The collection is called Jolly Season, and as you can see, this is a sea theme papers with this Christmassy vibe. There's lots of different elements. We've got some stockings, seahorses, corals, shells, poinsettias, of course, different Christmassy elements, and lots of different papers. Now this one kind of reminds me the Christmas wrapper, and I've put it in two different orientations. So regardless if you like to create the cards like that or like that, you have this paper available in two different orientation. And here is another one with a lovely anchor lighthouse here, again some lantern, seahorses. Now I purposely left some large open spaces for these papers because I want you to be able to use them up past the Christmas as well. So if you purchase the collection from me, you can also use them on different cards all year round, not only for the Christmas. And for that I am giving you some additional like spaces which you can cut out and use for various cards as well. Here is this beautiful green paper with lovely, there's some poinsettia, shells, pearls, corals, another lovely lantern. This is one of my favorite design, and again we've got this large open space to use up for later, but then you can cut the papers to create like a DL size cards, square cards, so many different possibilities. So this collection contains 10 different papers, and just look on that, so many lovely elements which you can use up for many different cards. Now apart from the paper collection, from the paper pack, I also designed for the first time something different. Let me know what you think for this idea. I actually create this ephemera card kit, and this one contains 7 pages with different elements. You've got some ephemera pieces to cut, but there's also some larger panels for the quick cards if you need something on the go. I think I've mixed it up, yeah. So I have another one here, and again you've got those large open spaces which will be perfect for all sorts of the aperture cards, shaker cards, things like that. 2 seconds, Kitty. My cat wants to be vocal on the video as well, so sorry for that. Now we have some more elements for fussy cutting. There's lots of different lovely sentiments saying like starfish, wishes and coastal kisses, sailing into the season of grace, waves of wonder this Christmas. And this is something which you can cut like square, circle or fussy cut, so many different options here. Now this is the 6 sentiments, and if it's enough, I know it's not enough, sorry, so I've made another page with printable sentiments which you can either use some label die, circle die, or cut these ones as a strips. And again, these are very well correlating with the papers. They all have some sea theme quotes here. Now, to kind of dress up the cards, I like to add poinsettias, especially to my Christmas cards. Like, I think this is such a nice element to add. So I've prepared this whole page with the paper poinsettia, and this will be working well on another Christmas cards creation, not necessarily the sea theme one. This is something kind of universal, so I wanted you to have. And last but not least, I have not one but 2 pages filled with the different various ephemera pieces which are also correlating with the elements on our creation. And here is my little kitty, so he also wanted to be in a video. So yeah, so we have this collection. We actually make it together. Yes, you were sitting on my lap and making sure everything is a good quality. So this paper collection is on my Buy Me a Coffee page, and you've got this paper pack for £7 and the ephemera card kit, which is also £7. But if someone decides to support me and buy 2 of these, you can actually purchase them as a mega bundle, and the mega bundle costs £10, so you get a big discount by buying them both. So this will be £10, and on top of that, you also get in the mega bundle, I also have additional set of the inserts. These are something which I was sharing with you with my last collection, which are working perfectly if you print them to the size of your card, and then you can actually put them back in your printer and add some wishes. This is from celebration time, but we have this one here, and again, this will be such a lovely pieces to add to the inside of your card, and then you can handwrite your wishes, you can print them or use some stamp. Here with few of these I actually added just a plain design, so that way you can use them on wedding cards, things like that, or different birthday card. You can actually cut this large portion of the design. So in overall, in this mega bundle, in total you will get 25 printable pages for 25 for £10. 25 pages for £10. And here you can see comparison of the card with the insert. If you will print them back to back, you score them in half, you've got the ready-made card to dress up on the front, and then you can write up the wishes, maybe add additional cutted poinsettia here somewhere like that in the corner, and you good to go. Now I will be coming back in a second and I will show you a couple ideas for this collection. So thank you so very much everyone who decided to support us for this Christmas and purchase our collection. And of course, thank you so much for all your likes and shares and comments. I love to read them. So I'll see you in a minute when we're gonna be making some cards. So hello back again. I have these gorgeous papers along with some ephemera bits which I previously cut to help myself while I'm gonna be creating, and now I am setting my clock for 1 hour. My very first card, I am starting from using the sentiment and this kind of like a aperture card image from this card making ephemera kit, and I am creating myself the card base. This is 12 by 12 cardstock which I am scoring in half at 6 inches, and then I will also cut it into 6-inch, so then I will have 2 card bases. But if you have ready-made card bases, you can use those ones as well. Here I've decided I want to cut the aperture, and I am using my scissors, and I am literally just following this aperture design and leaving like 1 millimeter space, so that way it's just helping me to, you know, create a cut which appears way more professional. For this sentiment bit, I just roughly chop it around so I could adhere it underneath this aperture opening. I am also using this floral background paper, and I just cut it to be kind of like 2 millimeters larger than this card panel, this blue card panel. So here you can see I am chopping all these elements, and all of those cards, they took me roughly like 10 to 15 minutes to create them. And this is kind of an important thing I would like to point to those of you crafty friends who are struggling with decision making. Sometimes I know it from my own experience that for many years I was indecisive, like shall I use this color cardstock or that, or shall I place this flower on left side, right side. Once I bought myself this little timer, you can see here on the right corner. You usually normally don't see it in my videos, but believe me, it's always there. Before I press recording, I am putting this timer down, usually between 45 minutes to 1 hour, and I am giving myself this designated slot. This helped me to avoid this indecisiveness. I know the time is ticking, so this helps me to create faster, and it actually improve my card making as well, because there's no better exercise like getting yourself better in card making than you actually do those cards. And since I've stopped wandering, I've started making way more cards, so this is why I think this is very useful tool to improve your card making. Here, very simple card. All I did, I took this aperture panel and I raised it above the sentiment, and then I adhere those two layers on top of this colored floral background paper. Here I am also grabbing a couple of the bits from Ephemera kit. I'm using those poinsettia flowers, and I thought this pop of a red color will be a nice finish touch to my card. Uh, One more thing I'm gonna do here, you can see I am using my bone folder just to press this background paper and make sure all the corners are properly secured with the glue. So whenever I feel like, oh, this is not done properly, you can put a little dot of the glue on piece of the paper and just stuck it underneath. That way you can adhere your corners. I am adding a little teeny tiny bit of dimension to my flower by forming them in my fingers, and I'm only using a dash of the hot glue. That way, even when they adhere flat, they still appear a little bit more dimensional, rather than just use the glue on all the surface of the flower. I'm only adding a dash of the glue in the center, and then I am allowing the rest of the element to raise up a little bit. Once I adhere both of my flowers to the card, I've decided to bring a little bit of the extra bling. After all, this is a Christmas creation, so I thought there will be no better thing to do than add a couple of the golden pearls in the center of those poinsettias. I am choosing those 2-3 millimeter size pearls, and I am just grouping them in the centers of my poinsettia. Once I'm happy with those little pearls, I think I've choose 3 for each flower, then I will adhere them with the hot glue. But you can add a dash of the glossy accent or any other adhesive and then just place them on top. I just had my hot glue on hand here right beside me, so this is why I'm using it. But I generally don't recommend it to use it, especially on teeny tiny pearls, because it's very easy to burn your fingers, so just be careful with that. And here my first card is ready. I think it's a very nice card. It's super dimensional, but flat at the same time. I think this aperture, raised up aperture, is really giving the dimensional effect. For my second card, I score a piece of the watercolor paper at 4 inches, and then I am creating this regular DL size card. Now, what you can see here, I am just trimming 1 millimeter from both ends of my card. This is a trick which I like to do whenever I feel like I'm gonna put a little bit more layers on my card, so then I don't want my card to, I don't want to fiddle with trying to squeeze the card in the envelope. I really recommend that trick to everyone. Just trim your card base 1 millimeter from the sides, and then you will see that even when you put a little bit extra layers on your card, it will still fit your envelope nicely. Here I'm using this blue and pink color paper, design paper, and I only cut this piece with the plain cardstock. And you can see here, this paper is so beautiful that if we would add some additional flowers or something else, this could be easily turned into like Easter card, a birthday card, anything else. It's not necessarily has to be a Christmas one. Here I've decided to use one of those fancy sentiment, and I'm also going to dress it up with some poinsettias. I cut myself a smaller rectangle from the white card, and I believe it was around 3 by 7 inches size. And here I was actually lazy. I didn't want to search for a proper embossing folder, so this is why I've decided to give it this stripy background. But I think it's a very great alternative for those of you, my friends, who doesn't have die cutting machine, who don't use the embossing folders. Always remember that you can place your paper on your scoring board and not necessarily have the same like scoring lines. You can alter them. You can see here what I did. I've score every like 1 inch and 1/8, and then 2 line before. So it's up to you. You can experiment. You can create diagonal lines as well under the angle. So many different things. Here I'm also adding some additional dimension to this colored paper by using my ruler and bone folder, and I just gently lift the edges of the paper for additional dimensional look. I am adhering it completely flat, but because of those raised edges, the paper is appearing to be way more dimensional than it actually is. Once I adhere my background paper, it's time to adhere this embossed panel, this actually scored panel, and I am slightly raising it by adding a simple layer of the double-sided foam tape, and I am securing my tape with the hot glue. I usually every time I'm using the foam tape, I like to secure it either with the hot glue or a traditional glue, because this is a dry adhesive. The tape, they tend to dry out with the time, and sometimes they just lose gripness. I had so many cards, like when you store your cards for a couple of years, you will actually see the same, that in many occasions the foam tape, they're kind of become loose, and after like 5 or 10 years your cards are just start falling apart. So always better to add a teeny tiny bit of the glue just to be sure that this will stay in place forever. For this card, I am using additional decorative element, this another fancy label, and this one says drift into the magic of the season. I am also dressing it up with some poinsettias, and then I will add couple more decorative elements. And again, same like with the last card, I am gently squeezing my poinsettias in my fingers, and then I am adding them to the card with the help of of the hot glue. Here I've also decided to add additional piece of the string. I just tie it as a little bow, and then I am adding it behind one of the starfish. I put 2 starfishes. One is a blue, dark blue color tone, and the other one is red, and this one will be sitting on top of my bow, so it will kind of hide it. I also decided to use couple of those like pearls, which were included in the ephemera kit, and you have them in like kind of like a off-white ivory color, then red and blue as well. So dependingly for what color card you're creating, there's always some additional elements which will help you to embellish your cards. And then if you like to take it step further, you can grab some glossy accent or something like that and go over those pearls to give them even more dimensional look. Here, since I've already cut this paper, I've decided I don't want to start another design. I will just use what I have. So I'm taking this leftover, which is this image of the lighthouse, and then I am just trimming it slightly smaller, so this will fit my another of the 6 by 6 inch card which I've created at the beginning of the video. If you're hearing some rumble in the background, some noises, that's my boys. They just come back home, and my son is very excited, trying to tell his dad the whole story, what's happening in the school. So I'm sorry if that's too much noise here. I am adding some additional, it's kind of like a pearl gold paper. It's not the mirror cardstock, so it doesn't have the same shininess, but it's this like a pearly colored cardstock, so it still has this a little bit of the shininess. And because this is quite large panel, I'm always trying to be kind of I would not say frugal necessarily, but I'm trying to be as less wasteful as possible. So whenever I'm using those specialty papers, I am just chopping the inside, which will be glue underneath the main focal point, so it's not gonna be visible that the part of the paper is missing. That way I am kind of getting additional piece of the paper which I can later on use on something else. I'm also using the sentiment which says catch the tide of Christmas cheer, and I think this will go really nicely with this card. And again, I am adding a layer of the liquid glue to all 4 sides, and I will just adhere it on top of this gold paper frame which I've just created. And as I've mentioned in the beginning, these cards are super easy. Whenever you have some sort of a card kit, it's always great to it's very handy to create the cards on the go, especially if you need a large volume of the cards. This is a great solution to actually have this access to lots of different elements which you can join and combine in different configuration to create lots of different cards. Let me know in the comment down below actually if you would like to see more videos. I am planning to create the whole series to give you the inspiration with this Christmas collection, but I would love to know if you would like to see those kind of the edited version of the videos, which will be probably around 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes long, or would you like to see this like a slow a lifetime creation process where I can, create the cards and you can actually put the video on and craft along with me. So give me a shout if you would like to see them in live creation, or if it's, too long and you would like to see the edited version. Now, to finish off my card, I am adding 2 poinsettias and this little cute seahorse with the Santa hat. And the seahorse I'm actually raising a little bit with some double layer of the foam tape. And later on at the end video, you will see I actually added a couple extra starfish, because I just thought when I was creating the photos, and that was once I already turned off my camera, I was seeing the gap in between the poinsettia flowers, and I just didn't like it. So on the final photo, you will see there is 3 extra starfish added to this composition, but nothing else has changed. It's just something I thought it will require of me to kind of improve this card to look a little bit better. I am finishing off this card with a couple of the water droplets, and I just think that these are completing the look very nicely. Now, I still have 14 minutes left, and I'm gonna be creating the last card for today's video, and this is gonna be a large A5 size card. Now, I actually started from chopping the green color cardstock, which I need to tell you, my friends, I was saving for another card. I had this fancy card project in my head, but once I chopped this paper because I really like this lantern, then I was like, oh, okay, let me just create the quicker card with this design. Now, I'm actually gonna go past the this time frame. Here you can see the 12 minutes left. I'm gonna take a little bit longer, but I don't mind. Sometimes I just feel like even though I'm putting a clock, this is only the guide for me for the time frame I should be fit in. But if some cards require some additional extra 2, 3, 5 minutes or so, I am definitely using that because I want all of my creation to look nice. I want them all to be polished and finished to the high standard I would like to, give them to the recipient. Now, initially I was thinking of putting the red color cardstock underneath, but then because I want to cut aperture in this paper, I thought I don't want to put any additional weight to the paper. And here I've made the mistake, which I can tell you now. If I would be redoing this card, I would add the similar panel to the inside portion of the card straight away. And I mean the inside left side. Once you open up your card, there is this, right side when you usually put the wishes. And then I left this left side undressed, but this is just something to let you know that in the future, if I will be making something similar, I would definitely dress the inside part of this card where I'll be chopping the aperture. And I'm telling you this that I would do it then, because it's later on it's much harder to cut the matching aperture in exactly the same spot on another piece of the cardstock. So just to let you know, that in the future this is one thing I would change. Here, what I'm planning to do, I am using this additional piece of the insert paper, which is much lighter than the original design. And what I want to do, I want to kind of create like a inlay effect. Well, it's not gonna be inlay because I will adhere this another piece on top of it, but I think because we have this much lighter paper and then we have this like a stronger color image, I think it will be just something which will be looking nice and very interesting. And here I am adhering the panel, and before I will actually press it hard firmly, I am just checking if this is in the right position, so it will be looking matching with the image which is on the front of my card. And here is this circle. What I'm gonna do, I am adding a little bit of the liquid glue to the back of this circle, and then I will adhere it through this front panel to use it as the guide, because I want the elements to really match up when the card is closed. So here you can see how it looks like, and I think this is such a nice idea. The only one regret I have that I didn't dress up the other side of the card as well. And here I've decided to use another of the sentiments from the set, and this one says anchors away to a Christmas day. And I think it's another one lovely quote. I was trying to brainstorm as many as I could for this particular collection, so they all will be Christmassy and matching with the vibe of the collection. By the way, my friends, if you're watching up till now, let me know down below in a comment what would be your ideal Christmas collection. Like, if you would be looking for the paper collection to buy, what kind of elements, style, vibe, like what would you like for the collection to include? I would love to hear your opinion. After all, I am also designing for you as well, so I would like to bring you the best possible products if I can. So I'm always valuing your addition to this designing process by giving me some direction, what you like, what's your favorite thing, and then I can include it as well. Here I am adding the sentiment. I'm just making sure it's nice and straight, and because I cut it too short, if I would redo it again, and I'm not saying that this card is just, oh, I regret this, I regret that, but sometimes What I love about recording YouTube videos is that I can see myself while I'm creating, and many occasions I can see my own mistakes. I can see what would I change, would I do differently, or should I do differently if I would be redoing the same card. So this is also a great learning process. So if anyone is considering whether you should start your own YouTube channel, you should definitely do this, even though if you don't planning to, make it big channel, or you don't want to record videos, regularly. uh, Seeing yourself once you're working, it's always give you this great feedback that you can observe what you're doing, the way you're working. And sometimes, as I'm saying, this is a great learning curve as well. Here I am finishing off this card by having a couple extra elements, and these include some starfishes, this extra seahorse, and I also have this additional what is it called, a holly leaf with red berries. I think they are looking really nice. And here I'm just trying to come up with the interesting look for the composition, and I'm also adding additional composition to the inside part of the card, where I am actually masking the edges of this sentiment. So I think it's just a nice way to create this like cohesive look on the inside and outside. And here you've got this nice large space on the top of the card to write your wishes, and here is the paper which I would probably use to dress up the inside card as well. So in overall it took me 1 hour and 7 minutes. You can see here I've already stopped my clock, and that's 4 cards done with this collection, including the paper pad and this ephemera card kit, which are both available on this mega bundle. All the links are down below in the description area if you would like to see the collection. And once again, thank you so very much for all your support, for your likes, for your share, for your purchasing and downloading my papers, whether you buy them or you download the freebies. I really appreciate your support. This is a huge compliment that you are choosing my papers. And now, thank you. I am wishing you all a fabulous day, and I hope to see you shortly. And let me know if you would like to see other videos to follow up with this collection, with inspiration for this paper pads. Would you like to see them in full length, or would you like the quicker edited version? Here are just a few close-up look on the cards so you could see them slightly better. And that will be me for today. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you shortly. Have a wonderful day, my friends, and bye bye.